At the time of this recording, I've lived in Southeast Asia for 3 years and 3 months, almost to the day. If I could go back and give myself advice on what to do and what not to do, this is what I would say. Hey, what's up? It's JJ, the Lonely Bull in Asia. I'm going to talk about these brutal truths that I wish I knew before I came here to Southeast Asia, and particularly here in the Philippines. I'm here in BGC, Bonifacio Global City, very westernized, a little bubble. I love it. But let's talk about these truths, these things that I wish I could tell myself from 3 years ago what to expect when you come out here. First of all, don't bring a lot of crap. When I first moved out here over 3 years ago, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was here. I didn't know what kind of stores I could find. So I brought a lot of things, a lot of clothes especially. You don't need that. You can buy most things here, and especially, like items like toothpaste and deodorant and shampoo. Most of those things are available here. Most of the Western type of brands are available here. As far as clothes, just bring the basics. You can come here, and even for a big guy like me, I'm 6 foot or so and 200 pounds like that. I can still buy underwear and socks and shirts, no problem. The only problem I have are shoes. It's hard to find shoes size 12 and above here in the Philippines especially. Now, you may have to go online, and that's another thing. I did not know that you can order on Amazon and have it shipped here for free, and as long as the order is under $200, you don't get an import fee charge. So that's another plus. So you can order things that you can't find here on Amazon and have it shipped. Now you can do some local things like on Shopee and Lazada. You can get really cheap items there, but you're kind of rolling the dice. It's kind of a crapshoot as far as quality, because a lot of those things are knockoffs, but you just have to be aware of that. So just know that don't bring a lot of stuff. You can get it here when you get here, okay? Number two, make sure you know the requirements for traveling and coming here to the Philippines or anywhere in Southeast Asia. Number one, your passport. You have to have at least 6 months on your passport left before it expires, before they'll let you enter the Philippines, or most countries for that matter. So just make sure that your passport has plenty of time left before it expires. Another thing is, you have to fill out the e-travel form online and get a QR code before you're able to get through immigration once you land here. Now, I noticed the last time I came here back in March, I flew from Vietnam here, and I had my form, I had my QR code, everything was good to go. But when I'm walking toward immigration, there's a big sign that said, if you do not have your e-travel QR code, you cannot go to immigration. And then there was a website on there. So there were probably a dozen people from my flight on their phones going to that website trying to get their QR code before they went to immigration. So they made that mistake. So just know that you got to have that e-travel form filled out within 2 days of leaving. Another thing is your onward ticket. Now, you're not always asked for an onward ticket, but you have to provide that. You have to show that you're leaving the Philippines within the first 30 days of arriving. You get that visa-free entry for 30 days when you come, and you can, as a tourist, you can keep extending for 36 months. But when you first come here, they want to see that you're leaving before that 30 days are up. Now, they don't always ask for it. In fact, I've only been asked once in my entire time in 10 years traveling to the Philippines. I've only been asked once to provide that information, but it's always good to know. You don't want to be that guy that doesn't have that ticket when you're leaving the country before you come to the Philippines. Another thing I wish I knew, things to do and don't do, the taxi scams. Don't take a taxi from somebody that hails it. I talked about this in a previous video just recently. If somebody comes up to you and says they will get a taxi for you or a grab for you, don't do it. Get your own taxi in the metered taxi kiosk, or grab the app on your phone and order your own Grab ride, because they're going to charge you extra money. So that's one thing that I did the first time I traveled to the Philippines back in 2015. Somebody hailed a taxi for me. I thought they were doing me a favor. No, they were doing themselves a favor and charged me 3,000 pesos. So once bitten, twice shy. That's why I do these videos for you, so you don't come into the same problems that I do. Also, I did not know that language can be an issue here in the Philippines. I thought, oh, English is one of the languages they speak here. I thought everybody spoke English. Well, they don't. Don't come here expecting King's English by every Filipino that you see. It's not always going to be the case. Now, generally speaking, most, especially in the larger cities, they speak pretty fair English, but a lot of times you're going to have province people working in these big cities at retail, restaurants, bars, and that sort of thing, and their English may not be top notch, so you might have a hard time understanding what they're saying, and they may have a hard time understanding what you're saying. So just make sure when you come here, don't expect everybody to speak perfect English. It's not going to happen, okay? Also, the weather. You've got to be prepared for the weather. It is 97 degrees today, and it's going to be 98 tomorrow and close to 100 for the rest of the next 2 weeks or so. So we're in that hot season, and we just hit it. It's almost overnight. You go from, April, the first week in April, and it's fairly nice. It's in the mid 80s and maybe even 90, but in the nighttime it's cool. You got a nice breeze, but boy, now it just seems like overnight, now it's just hot. And we're going to be in that hot time, that summer months, probably until August, when the rainy season starts to hit. So just be prepared. Hot weather this time of year. You've got the rainy season and the monsoon and the typhoon season up until about the early to mid-December, and then it gets really nice from December until the end of March. You're going to have nice, cool temps, clear skies, and it's going to be quite nice. But you got to understand, you got to know when to come. If you don't like real hot weather, don't come now. If you don't like rain, don't come in the burn months. That's just a general knowledge thing to understand. Also, I wish I knew what the visa requirements were or what the visa issues were. So if you're a tourist, you need to know where to go to extend your visa for another 30 days or however long. You need to know what documents to bring, what documents to get. You need to know that you have to pay cash. They don't take cards or anything like that. So you just need to understand what those things are. So before I even came out here, I didn't really understand any of those things. So watch these YouTubers. They'll give you this information. I've got other videos that talks all about what your visa extensions are as far as a tourist. Also, if you're interested in retiring, know the rules, know the requirements for that, how much money you need to deposit into a Philippine bank account, how you need to do that. You just can't bring cash in and say, here's my $10,000 US, or here's my equivalent in pesos. They don't take that. You have to have an electronic transfer from your bank to theirs. There's a lot of different requirements involved. So just understand what is needed to get that retirement visa here in the Philippines, or anywhere else for that matter. So what to do if you're sick? Know where to go. Know where the hospitals are. Know where the clinics are. Know who the good people to go to are, whether it's a good hospital like St. Luke's or whether it's good clinics here in BGC. If you're living in the province, that could be a little problematic. You might not have a lot of options, a lot of good choices. So just understand, if you have health issues or you foresee you're going to have health issues in the near future, know where you're going to live and know what the health situation is as far as health care options, so you don't run into any problems. We don't want that to happen. So I wish I knew that coming in, but I'm a healthy guy, more or less, except for when you fall. But other than that, I'm pretty healthy. But just understand the health care and just know where to go. Also, with illnesses, there's some illnesses that you can pick up here that you wouldn't in the West. Number one is dengue fever. Now, I've never had an issue with it. I think living in a city like BGC, they kind of keep the population of mosquitoes down. It's a mosquito infection that you get from mosquitoes. It's a fever, and it can be very serious. And there's different types of dengue fever that you could get. I mean, it can be very, very severe. So just understand that and know how to get around that, know what to do to avoid that, and know where to be or where not to be to keep from getting dengue fever, if at all possible. Also, stomach viruses, because you're in a different world, different part of the world, you're in a different environment, the food, the water, things like that could affect your stomach a lot differently than what you're used to in the West. The bacteria is completely different than what you're used to, so just understand that you could have some stomach issues when you first come here and periodically throughout the time you're here. Speaking of medicines, know what medicines you need to bring with you that you can't get here. So if you have special prescription medication, make sure you check to see if it's available here in the Philippines with your doctor's prescription from home, if you can get it renewed or updated or refilled here in the Philippines. And if they even have it here. A lot of medications you can't get here, so you may need to take a quick trip to Thailand or Vietnam and get those medications. Even over-the-counter drugs may not be available here. And also understand what the prices are, because the prices may differ. They may differ than what you're used to paying in the States, especially if you have insurance that covers a lot of your medications in the States. That may not work here in the Philippines, and you may be paying a lot more for your medicine here than you normally would. And you think of the Philippines as being a cheap place to live, and generally speaking it is. It's a lot cheaper than anywhere in the US, but having said that, some of the medications, some of the prescription drugs are a little more expensive than what you might be used to, so just understand that. So those are some of the things I wish I knew before coming here that I know now. So do your due diligence. If you're thinking about coming here to the Philippines or anywhere in Southeast Asia, understand those things. Get the information before you come out here so you're prepared. And hopefully this is something that'll help you out, because that's what I do. I do these videos to share my experiences and help you with your travel plans and your plans to move out here to the Philippines or Southeast Asia. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Put in the comments below if there's anything I missed, or if you have any other questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. And as always, mabuhay, my friend, live life, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.